I'm Mrs. ZK, and today we are going to be talking about subject-verb agreement. So a subject is a who or a what. In this case, when we're talking about our sentences, it's going to be a noun. And our verb is an action word. So it's what is the subject doing? All right? So we're going to talk about subject-verb agreement and sentences, and we are going to be talking about them in their singular form. Say singular. Singular means only one all by itself. And then we'll be talking about it in its plural form. Say plural. And plural means more than one. Nice. I have a quick chart that we can go over just to kind of familiarize ourselves with what does it mean to have a singular subject and a singular verb. And the same thing for plural. So let's look real quick. So we have some singular subjects here. Remember, these are nouns. Car, kid, bird. They all just mean one car, one kid, one bird. And here we have some singular verbs. Remember, verbs are those action words. What are they doing? And the car speeds. The kid jumps. The bird stops. So if you notice, there's an S at the end of all these verbs. They're singular. Keep that in mind. Let's look at the plural form. Okay, so these are the same nouns, but this time the subject has an S at the end. When we talk about cars, more than one car. Kids, more than one kid. Birds, more than one bird. This time, you'll notice that the verb does not have an S. So when we talk about the plural form of a verb, it will be in its plural form by not adding an S. So the cars speed. The kids jump. The birds stop. Scholars, before we start looking at sentences and seeing if they have subject-verb agreement, we are going to look at how the verbs can become singular or plural. Today we are going to work with verbs that end with special letters or letter combinations. All the words today will end in the letter S, X, Z, SH, or CH. So I want to show you that. If a word ends in one of these letter or letter combinations, we can't just simply add an S. We have to add ES to make the verb singular. All right, so let's look. I have a plural verb here right now. The word is mix. Since it is plural, I can add a plural subject, like the children. That's more than one child, right? I could say the children mix the cake batter. But if I just want to say the child and make it singular, all about one, I'm going to have to make it plural. This word ends in one of our special letters, an X. So I can't just simply add an S, I need to add ES. So my singular verb would be the word mixes. I could say, the child mixes the cake batter. Let's look at another word. I can have the plural verb wash. Wash is in its plural form, which means it can have a plural subject to go with it, more than one. I could say the players wash their uniform after practice. But if I want to change it to a singular form sentence, I would have to make a singular subject with a singular verb. And I am going to SH. I see that it ends in one of our special letter combinations. Add ES. So our singular verb would be washes. And this would mean if I was talking about one, right? So the player washes his uniform after practice. All right, scholars, go ahead and get your paper and something to write with ready. We're going to see some sentences on the board, and you are going to pick the verb that fits into the sentence. Remember, we are going to be looking for subject-verb agreement. All right, scholars, Now it's time to apply what we've learned. We are going to read through some sentences. We are going to decide whether the singular verb or the plural verb fits into the sentence. Remember, we want subject-verb agreement, which means if the subject is singular, the plural needs to be singular. If the subject is plural, the verb needs to be plural, right? Make the sentence happy. All right, scholars. I'm going to read through. When you hear the verb that sounds right for the sentence, write it down on your paper. Here we go. Mr. Devine teaches his second graders about learning from the past. Or should it be, Mr. Devine teach his second graders about learning from the past. Write down the verb that you think fits in that sentence. All right, let's think about it. Mr. Devine is what? One person, right? He is the teacher. He is one person, which means it is singular. We're talking about one person, so our verb needs to match and also be singular, right? Did you write down the word teaches? Nice. That is how we will have subject-verb agreement. Let's reread our sentence, scholars, and you can see how it sounds right. Mr. Devine teaches his second graders about learning from the past. All right, scholars, here's our next sentence. Miss Kim watches the students as they play outside, or Miss Kim watch the students as they play outside. Which verb fits in this sentence? All right, let's think about it. Our subject, which is our noun, is Miss Kim. Here's the person. Miss Kim is one person, which means it is singular. So we need to have subject-verb agreement. If you wrote down watches, you are correct. All right, this is a singular form of watch. All right, scholars, let's reread our sentence. Miss Kim watches the students as they play outside. You're doing a nice job, scholars. Let's read our next sentence. When the kids finishes their lunch, they must clean their area. Or should it be, when the kids finish their lunch, they must clean their area. Go ahead and write down the verb that you think fits into the sentence. Remember to think about subject-verb agreement. Who's the subject here? The subject is the kids. The kids is what? Is that singular, just talking about one? Or is that plural, talking about more than one? It is plural. So if we have a plural subject, we need a plural verb, and we have an agreement. If you wrote down finish, you are right. Let's go ahead and reread our sentence with the correct verb there. When the kids finish their lunch, they must clean their area. I hope you clean your area when you're done with your lunch as well. All right, scholars, keep up the great work. We have one more sentence to go over. You ready? Okay. At the end of the school day, the patrol guard crosses the street with the students that walk home. Or should it say, at the end of the school day, the patrol guard cross the street with the students that walk home. Go ahead and write down your choice now. All right, so let's think about who the sentence is talking about. There are two subjects in the sentence. There's the patrol guard, and then there's the students. But it's talking about what the patrol guard is doing. So that's the verb, that's the subject that we want the verb to agree with. The patrol guard is what? Is that a singular subject or a plural subject? The patrol guard is just one because there's not an S at the end, right? So the patrol guard is singular. All right, our singular verb is crosses. If you wrote down crosses, you were correct. Nice work. Let's go ahead and reread our sentence. At the end of the school day, the patrol guard crosses the street with the students that walk home.
This program is made possible in part by the Michigan Department of Education, the State of Michigan, and the W.K. Kellogg Foundation. Additional support by viewers like you. Thank you.